to SunnyRedemption Sailing number 23, your your no BS voyage through gaming news. So let's just kind of get into it while we're starting out. So Astrobot wins Game of the Year. I'm pretty sure you're happy with that because you've actually played it. Of the two of us.
I have not actually played the new Astrobot. No.
Oh, what?
I haven't gotten around to buying that. I've been just so busy with other games.
Oh, I guess I just assumed.
I played every. No. I mean, I would have assumed I would have played it too. Just been very busy.
So, what do you think as someone who hasn't played it? About its win?
I mean, everything I've seen of it seems like, hey, it's great that it's to me, it's like.
What now?
I don't really have a dog in that fight too much because I haven't played it, but based on everything I know about the prior Astrobot stuff, like if it's at that same level, which it seems like it is based on the reviews, very well deserved. Although personally, I'm halfway through Metaphor, and I would have liked to have seen that win.
Working here is
but,
so unfair.
You know. And also, I wouldn't have minded Final Fantasy VII Remake
I was
or
about to ask
Rebirth
about
winning, because I'm like 4/5 of the way through that.
Oh, I've emissaried if you want.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I just checked the map for Reapers. I didn't see any.
Okay, why not?
Oh yeah, emissary.
Yeah, you go do that. I'll check the map. Anyway, continue.
All right.
There.
Yeah. The only one I didn't have. And again, like if Velatro had won, I would have been like good on them for like such a small team or one person essentially winning it.
There was no way.
I'm not a huge fan of that game.
There was no way Velatro would win at all.
I still would have loved to have seen it win. Yeah, I still would have loved to have seen it win, just on the basis of it being made by such a small team.
I suppose.
I think that would have been a cool thing to have happened, and it's still cool that it did get a lot of other recognition. So.
Yeah, you know, like...
But my best efforts to try and get into that game and just not really digging it, like, I can at least appreciate the effort.
Yeah, I've had the similar problem. As I've mentioned, I am not good at poker to begin with. Maybe it'll click again once my poker-loving dad helps me.
Yeah.
But, like, the most video games he plays is solitaire, so... I'm not sure how that'll go. What I am really excited though is the demo I just played called Cats on Duty. It's basically the spiritual successor to Plants vs Zombies on Xbox 360 that we never knew we needed, but it's great. And then on the other side of the screen, you play Bejeweled 3 to gain cat food to feed your army based on color. So for co-op, one person can tackle either side of the screen, and since my sister and I both really like Plants vs Zombies, and match 3 is very easy, well, we can take turns switching sides of the screen. That's pretty awesome. I also really liked the trailer and demo for Section 13. That is a tactical twin-stick shooter, which I think means that they say tactical a lot in regards to like grenades and stuff. Which you can switch to up on D-pad. It's a roguelike, kind of, because it seems like the level is designed, but they also cheekily said, sorry the dialogue's not finished, we're just gonna blame it on COVID. And stuff like that. So very cheeky like that, and
yeah.
You're just infiltrating this massive corporation to fight a bunch of zombies. It's pretty solid. And then, you're gonna love this one. You should download that as soon as you can. Escape from Ever After, which is saying that it's directly inspired by Paper Mario, and with a storybook aesthetic. So, like, how to talk about it without spoiling too much? So far the story is really cool because you're a fairy tale hero who has to pair up with the dragon that he defeated or that he had a perpetual rivalry with to fight the corporation that has taken over all of fairy tales. I'm starting to notice a theme with a lot of these games. Like, I just beat Mouthwashing yesterday.
Oh yeah, I need to get to that. I've heard really interesting things about it.
Well, it's great that I played it the one time, because the gameplay like the actual combat and survival horror elements that are introduced later are so unbelievably clunky that I am never touching that game again. Also because it makes me sick to my stomach. Also because you play the story once. But you know what? I'm glad I did, because I'm probably still gonna think about it next week. Like, that's very hard to do with a video game story. With all of the fun that I've been having with Dragon Age the Veilguard, I could not tell you the specific events a lot of the time, except that we went here and beat this and collected this piece of information to get to the next thing, because it's very endgamey in that regard. Like, I probably couldn't tell you the plot details of Endgame, except for that they went back in time to get all the Infinity Stones and then kicked not Thanos' butt. So, yeah, there's that. As for the Game of the Year stuff, like, if I had played metaphorrefantazio more than the demo, I probably would be like, yeah, you know what, they rocked, but Metaphor got the best narrative, so it's not like they came away with nothing. It's just that's the one that like, people are gonna remember.
Yeah, and that so far, like, I was happy Metaphor got a few wins there, because I think, based on the half of it that I played, it's so good.
Yeah,
I can't say enough good things about it.
Yeah, and you're the resident RPG sicko of this year because of all of the ridiculous amount of RPGs that have come out this year.
Honestly, the best year of JRPGs in probably my entire life, honestly.
Wow!
Just volume-wise. I mean, there are so many that even the good ones I haven't gotten to, you know? There's even like, I still have barely started the remake of Persona 3, which is my favorite Persona game.
Goodness. Wow, that's really saying something.
I still have the end game, like, sort of, not New Game Plus, but the end game dungeons to run through in, like, post game dungeons to run through in Infinite Wealth as well. That's something I thought I would have time for later this year, but then games just kept coming, so really didn't end up having any time.
Well, like I said, I've barely started Infinite Wealth, so that's definitely not a game of the year for me.
The thing with Infinite Wealth is, like, I think
even though it's really good,
also in the best narrative. Yeah, it was also in the best narrative category, and I would have been a little bit, maybe, like, I definitely wouldn't have picked that over Metaphor, so I'm happy Metaphor got it there, because Infinite Wealth has some really great moments, but overall the story is a bit messy.
Yeah, I'm starting to see that already, where some of the dialogue is really clunky and very explainy, because they have to, but it's also early days, so I guess I'll see how it ends.
Like,
by the way, I'm hacking away at a Red Mermaid statue.
Okay, cool, I'll be right there. There are plenty of great individual moments in Infinite Wealth, and a lot of, like, fan servicey, like, moments of, like, oh, they're paying this thing off from a long time ago or whatever, or they're, you know, a lot of stuff to just, they're bringing back for the sake of bringing it back one last time, because of the Kiryu stuff. But,
oh, yeah.
And
well,
so that's good,
cool
but to me, like, that doesn't really enhance the actual narrative of the game. So,
it's
like,
just Kiryu's another companion.
Aside, the actual, like, ongoing narrative of the game, the through lines, like, a few of them I can think of really don't stick the landing. So, so definitely, like, if Infinite Wealth had won over Refantazio or like Final Fantasy Rebirth, I probably would have been like, I don't know about that, but Metaphor won, so I totally agree, based on the games I've played that were even nominated.
Yeah, and, like, personally, I want to know what your personal favorite game of the year is while I think about how to say mine.
I mean, I think Metaphor is going to be up there. If I have to just think about games this year, like, I'd like to reserve judgment until I finish the game, because I've heard some differing opinions on how that game wraps up. But
that's a good point.
I'm 35 hours in, so I can say based on those 35 hours, and I was talking to a coworker actually who's into Atlas games yesterday, and I told him where I was. He's finished it, and he's like, "Oh, you're just about at the halfway." So,
oh no, I'm dead.
You know, I'll try to get you. So knowing that much, I think I could say like so far, Metaphor would probably be like number 1 or number 2.
What would be the other game that might be number 1 or 2?
Infinite Wealth, probably.
Okay, yeah.
Again, like, reservations about the story aside, it's still an extremely fun game. And it executed on, like,
so far,
improving all the RPG elements. Because, like, I went back and played a bunch of I went back and played a bit of, like, Yakuza 7 after having played through all of Infinite Wealth. And, I'm not going to be able to get you up.
That's okay.
Yep, I'm dead.
I'll just get food.
I went back to Yakuza 7 a bit after having finished Infinite Wealth. I'm like, oh man, they really improved the combat in Infinite Wealth. Because going back to 7, like, there's so much just weird randomness to it. Infinite Wealth really tightened it up in a lot of ways.
I didn't really get Infinite Wealth, like, circle that you were in at first, so I was like, wait, what? But then I realized how important positioning and environmental damage is.
And positioning. Yes. And that's something where in Like a Dragon, in Yakuza 7, that was totally out of your control, and so much random nonsense would happen because of it, which was sometimes fun, but then sometimes frustrating when your characters would, like, get stuck on something.
Oh, I kind of know what you mean, where, like, Namba especially would have a problem.
They should have been or just look like they should have been in danger of something, but weren't, or something like that. Yeah, so that, they solved a lot of that stuff in Infinite Wealth. So gameplay-wise, that's why I definitely really like Infinite Wealth. And yeah, I probably, it and Metaphor are just really neck and neck in my mind. I would just have to finish Metaphor to really make a judgment there.
Yeah, I'm
and
feeling...
Then there's Persona 3 Reload, which in an alternate universe where I'd actually finished it, I could very easily see it being up there. Because I did put about 12 hours into it, which is not much. But I really liked what I played. I played it too close in proximity to my last playthrough of the PSP version, so...
okay.
Just wasn't really ready to go and do another playthrough so quickly.
That's fair.
After having just played through Portable last year.
Yeah, I'm feeling the same way about some games where it's like, oh yeah, I'll get to a new game plus of you later, rogue book, that kind of thing. I'm also feeling very similar to you on Indiana Jones. It's basically everything that I would have wanted from that type of game so far. And I'm in Egypt now. The level design is smaller, but that's fine because there's plenty of intricacies underground still. And completing puzzles there has been really cool still. The combat has gotten harder now that there are more enemies with guns. And having to deal with that, but also use guns as melee weapons, and also be like, if I have my revolver with me, then I could just have an infinite melee weapon, because there are so many freaking repair kits everywhere that I basically never run out. That is a little bit annoying. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I still haven't played more since the last time we talked, just because I've been working almost every day. But
well, I won't spoil any story things then, but it's really good
I'm
so
still
far.
I'm at the beginning of the Vatican still, so not very far at all. But yeah, I hope when I have some time off, might not get to it tomorrow. Hopefully I will, but when I do have some time, I'm absolutely going to be playing more of that soon. And I was going to say, like, I could very easily see that game creeping up my Game of the Year list.
Well, that's cool. How do I explain? Well, I think that, you feel like Indiana Jones, for sure. That's a huge plus. But you also feel like you. I think that's a lot of the reason they, wanted the first-person perspective for most things, is that they wanted you to be able to look closely at the details of the history. Like, all the stuff I flipped out about, with things like, a letter from General Kleber, to about the expedition for the Rosetta Stone in 1798, and for Napoleon, and like the fall of Constantinople, and I love how the Indiana Jones ties the real history into a supernatural, in an interesting way. Like, that just is a huge strength of the series, and I love that they've replicated it here, because these people are passionate about Indiana Jones. And of course there has to be modernizations, like more diversity in professors and stuff like that, but first of all, if you're that upset by that, then you probably checked out of Indiana Jones a long time ago. And second of all, it's, like, very organic. Historically accurate? Probably not, but still, it's really cool, because it's freaking Indiana Jones. Of course it's not historically accurate. You're fighting Nazis in the 30s with a bullet. It's a Saturday morning serial cartoon of a movie franchise that now, basically because the only actor really associated with that is super old, is going to become a video game franchise forever. And I would adore a remake of Emperor's Tomb in this style, because that's the only other Indiana Jones action game I've managed to play, and possibly the only one that exists on any kind of modern platform because of backwards compatibility. And it just was so clunky. But I would love replaying those levels in this style. That would probably be easy to do, and I don't think anybody would be salty about it being a remake, because, well, finding a good MacGuffin for Indiana Jones takes time. I'm not quite sure about the MacGuffin for the Great Circle yet, but it's getting me to all these cool places, so I'm sure it'll pay off at the end. That's probably why I'm similarly reserving judgment when it comes to the AAA space, because I don't really think it's fair that AAA and indie games have to compete with each other. It's just not the same playing field. There are plenty of great indie games that are better in qualitative opinion than AAA slop is these days. Especially with the Fortnite stuff, because I'm like, oh, this is where Epic just lazily copies Counter-Strike in an attempt to get a completely new kind of player. And The Sims and Lego Fortnite and stuff like that. Because that's a big problem for games in general, is that there's just so many live service games that are slop. Mindless. I'm sorry. But, like, for instance, I really do think that I'm excited for Strange Fiction, but, I don't really know what will, like, it's creeping up to the AAA price point. I don't know if those games are AAA enough to really justify that, but, oh, your character appears to be frozen.
Oh. No,
or like stuck on the ladder.
Oh,
just hanging out on the ladder?
Oh, weird. Yeah.
Okay, so you're just kind of standing there. I was like,
I was about to tell you.
Menacingly!
Yeah, I put down a voice. That's what I was about to say.
Oh, duh. Okay, well. Oh, to sail the quest. Awesome. So, for my personal game of the year, it is an indie game. Oh gosh, this audio crap with my headset is being really annoying. Again, it probably won't show up on stream, it'll just bother me slightly. Oh no, the music is bad. Oh. Anyway, so I'll try to suffer through it for a little bit. But anyway, my game of this year, with 162 hours in it, is Crab Champions on the Steam Deck. Because that's the only portable console, or console-like thing that I have that has it. And those extra buttons really come in handy for all the jumping and dashing and slamming and sliding and shooting and all of that you need to do. There's like no reason to hit the face buttons at all and take your eye off the stick. Especially on Emerald difficulty, which I just beat, with the saw blade launcher, which is fairly difficult, compared to the, like heavy machine guns and stuff like, and rocket launchers and stuff like that. but there's also like a cool laser grenade that I got 2 achievements with for beating it that way, because I was like, oh yeah, this actually is my first weapon that I used this grenade with. And that may have added to the difficulty a little bit of that, but once I really understood how to use the knife to knock a bunch of enemies back constantly, that helped a lot too. Anyway, so like, other people would say that it's not a game of the year because it's a $10 roguelike developed by one guy that has decent graphics and performance, but like other roguelikes, gets repetitive after a while. And I'd say, yeah, you know what, it does. I mean, a lot of the trailers for the Game Awards for roguelikes and demos and stuff like that, because it's easier to make this way, though the developers are still pretty stressed on Sector 13, so maybe not as easy as it used to be. Especially with such a saturated field of people going for the popular thing, but I think there's enough twists and turns in Crab Champions specifically to make it a really great movement shooter, which is a kind of genre that I love and has not really gotten a lot of love lately. I mean, there's hero shooters, but that's different. Like, I'm talking like a single character jumping and dashing and moving and wall running across the screen and slamming. Because, like, well, juggling multiple enemies in creative ways is what I really like about these sorts of things. Ever since I really got hooked on it with BioShock. So, you know, this is just how it happens. This is the game that I would turn to in bed when I had nothing else to play, or when I was feeling really sad about the state of the world, or when I just needed to take out my aggression on something. So yeah, there we go. That's Crab Champions. And we'll see about AAA Game of the Year, because I haven't really pushed forward into Dragon Age Veilguard either. I'm weighing whether to sell Life is Strange. Not because it's bad, but because there's a lot of other story games that are digital that I might have more time for. I'll see after I get back from vacation, because, well, I'm going to be moving to a Series S, so obviously I have to leave Veilguard and Life is Strange behind. Along with Destiny and Gotham Knights, which I want to finish in the new year.
Yeah, if you ever want to play more of that, I do have that.
Yeah.
Played it.
We might also want to play more of... oh, come on, open already. xDefiant. The fact that I forgot the name for a little bit while it was loading tells you how popular that game was, or good.
I didn't hate the one time I played it, but I feel like, because I have access to Call of Duty now, I don't know.
Yeah, the time for that to really gain the foothold was the summer when people didn't have a Call of Duty.
Yeah, and like clearly it didn't. So try to.
But people wanted characters from the series, like from the series that they were in, not generic operators.
Yeah, not just like the logo of the game.
Seriously. But like, it is a little bit sad because that Ubisoft is declining so badly, because like, I wanted to like Star Wars Outlaws. I wanted to like xDefiant. I'm gonna give Assassin's Creed Shadows a chance because I have the Ubisoft Plus for a year. But what happens when a bunch of cheapo nerds like me, who got it for the year when it was offered at a very significant discount, just say, you know what, your output hasn't been all that great, canceling. This is what happens when you devalue your own game library. And like, I'm a little bit salty that Indiana Jones didn't even get a chance at the Game Awards. I mean, it was timing, but it, like, why is it before November? Like, why not allow people to vote until the, I don't know. Maybe it's for the voting jury to actually complete and review these games.
Yeah, I'm sure it has a lot to do with production schedules and stuff. It's a very big show. Like,
yeah, that's fair.
It'll just kind of suck if, like, next year like, because I know they have a stipulation of like, oh, anything that missed the cutoff is eligible next year, and that's cool in theory. Oh, some skeletons shooting at us from the island, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, I see where it is. I'll repair the ship real quick.
Okay, I will try and get up to them to stop them, because I think it's just a simple ladder climb.
Yeah.
And I don't see any player tags, so we're good. You had me nervous there for a second. Phew.
Yeah,
okay.
I know.
Especially with the new updates to the grappling hook.
Yeah. Yeah, with Indiana Jones, like, I hope it at least gets... Like, I think it's probably too far gone in public consciousness. Especially next year. I'm sure there will be plenty of great games coming out. I feel like there's no shot of it getting, like, Game of the Year nominations, but, you know, it could get something for, like, voice performance, for
Troybaker, yeah, because he pretty much is Harrison Ford, is Indiana Jones now, and I'm happy about that.
Yeah, what I like about his performance so far is that it echoes Harrison Ford, but it's not a straight imitation. There's enough difference there while retaining the spirit and personality.
Right, for people who don't listen to that closely, like my family, when they hear him and see him in the Temple of Doom costume, which my mom will love because she saw the movies as a teenager, old young adult, then, like, you know, that'll be perfect for them. I haven't really noticed too many differences, but, like, they are there. It's cool, like, that this person is doing his own thing. Troy Baker, the man of 1,000 voices, ladies and gentle theys. There is a chance for it to get a little bit in the public consciousness with the Order of Giants, but I don't think they're gonna nominate a DLC for Game of the Year just to double dip with Eldenring hype. God.
Yeah, that's like that's a very specific case there.
Right, and my performance of the year at the Game Awards was Statler and Waldorf, because
that was surprisingly decent as far as Muppets appearances go.
Well, I think they're just gonna be regulars at the Game Awards to be like, yeah, we know we suck sometimes about commercials and stuff, but moving on. And then the only other moment that apparently happened that I can't find footage for some reason is that was really resonant in the show itself as opposed to the trailers and such, which we'll get to in a second. Like, that would be... What is it? It's on the tip of my tongue. The moment where Larian Studios was talking. Because, again, I didn't actually see any footage of this, but apparently they absolutely reamed the game industry for the exploitative practices and flattening of IPs and stuff like that.
You mean the speech that the Larian Studios guy gave before presenting Game of the Year? Yeah.
Well, again, I haven't heard that because I tried looking for it, but I couldn't find it on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah,
I watched the VOD on YouTube, and it was there.
Oh, you have to watch the VOD. That's the thing. I was trying to not do that.
I mean, if someone's clipped it individually, I guess it's there. But
yeah, that's what I tried to find.
You just have to skim to the Larian guy right before.
Yeah, I didn't watch any of this.
Game of the Year.
I didn't watch any of the show live, in part because I was also doing an interview with Rami Rustam of Uniting the Cults.
Oh right, you mentioned that, yeah.
Yeah, that was a pretty good interview. It wasn't live, but recorded. I'm gonna get the VOD pretty soon, and then we'll put it up on my channel right here on History Lights Productions, where I'll be talking about my experiences with the Baha'i Faith for people who are interested in that sort of thing. Ad over. We won't be mostly commercials like the Game Awards. But yeah, the best jokes from Statler and Waldorf are reserved for Geoffkeighley himself, because I think he's, you gotta have a gigantic ego to be presenting an entire award show and feel like you're changing the entire game industry by doing this. But he saw an opening with E3 dying and exploited it. So, good for him.
The thing is, the dude's been doing award shows for over 30 years. So, like, if anyone's gonna do this sort of thing, it's him. Like, I don't know. I don't have, like, any real,
I don't hate him either.
affection or love for Keighley, but, like, I don't know. I think people like really single him out in a lot of ways. Where it's like there's a lot of people way worse in the industry. Like there could be a lot worse people for doing this sort of thing.
Like whenever Xbox made a dumb decision in the past, it was always Phil Spencer that people criticized because that was the face.
There always has to be a figurehead for that sort of stuff. And yes, the Keigleys have had plenty of like really, really dumb like forced advertising plugs and awkward moments and whatever, but like it's an awards show. That kind of nonsense is gonna be there.
The Keigleys. I love it. Yeah, I mean, like, the main thing is just that it's also a really long show. I don't really know why award shows have to go on for so long, other than advertising.
Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of how it's always been. Like, I sometimes
that's why I
watch the
faded
Oscars,
on that.
And those can go, like, 4 hours. Keighley's at least reined it into, like, 3 usually.
Yeah. But, well, the good information always comes at the end anyway, so I just wait. But, like, okay.
I watch it live when I can, but I was working this year, so I caught it the day after.
That's cool. Well, yeah, maybe I will catch future VODs. There's, like, really great moments, but eh.
You know, I did skim a little bit. I probably watched 3/4 of it and skimmed through, you know, the commercials and stuff.
Yeah, I can see that. That is a good strategy as well. But again, skimming to the good parts, the trailers. The first trailer I watched was for the Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2 Obelisk update, and I'm not really sure what it does exactly, entirely, other than add, like, an endless operations mode, I think. But it also fixed the stupid-ass bug that I had where I couldn't progress through a door because of terrible scripting. The characters actually remembered where they were supposed to be now and didn't just hang around in the doorway and not assemble forever. So I was able to actually trigger the button and finish the game, and that final fight was pretty good. It's just that I probably would have been raving about how this was my game of the year if it hadn't done a stupid like that. But let's be honest too. It's a really good game, but also incredibly repetitive in the campaign. In ways that are very bothersome, like, you know, oh, we have to stand in this circle and defend things for a little bit, kind of mission design. But that's also kind of just how these kinds of third-person shooters are, to some extent. You know, I'm pretty sure I would love Gears for doing the same thing. And I do love this game despite... What? Uh-oh. Finally connected with you on this stupid island. And you blow yourself
up.
I
finally found where the treasure was, but before I could dig for it, a gunpowder skeleton got me.
Yeah, well, okay, so, my favorite trailers from a cinematic standpoint were The Witcher 4 and Civilization 7. Because Civilization music always gives me the feels. For conquering the world. Yeah, okay. But The Witcher 4 looks like it could be really interesting, and
yeah,
they
that
said...
looks great. I mean, I'd like to finish The Witcher 3 someday, but that's like an insurmountable task.
That game just has such clunky gameplay. I'm sorry, I can't. But The Witcher 4 might actually have modern control schemes and movement acceleration and stuff like that. That's the kind of nerdiness and nitpickiness that I have sometimes with games, because of all of my sensitivities. But, well, whoop, ow, I broke my leg, but I brought back an exploding barrel.
Alright, cool.
So, are we done on this island, or?
And, no, stop. I just found the first chest might be, now I have to get back there.
Oh my god.
I'm going for the chests on, like, the southeast, by the way, in case there's one that you were looking for.
Goodness gracious. Well, the first, like, really unique trailer that caught my eye was Dispatch, where you're like...
Yeah, that one looks alright. That's the Aaron Paul one, right?
where some of the Telltale
Paul,
game people were there.
Yeah.
I didn't know that there was Aaron Paul there, but well,
Yeah,
it looks interesting.
Laura Bailey sort of heated up to present the trailer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, again, I don't really know the context of actually presenting the trailers. I just saw the trailers later.
Yeah.
Splitfiction, again, it looks really cool. It looks like maybe it could be really wildly fun. Yeah. Moving on.
That's the thing about joseffares. Let me talk about Splitfiction for a sec, because I implicitly trust him at this point, because I really didn't think. I loved Brothers when it came out. I really was not sold on A Way Out till I played it. So I was like, oh, this looks like it could turn out like a disaster.
Did you see the remake for Brothers has a trial?
I did, but I don't know. That's not really the kind of game I feel like I need to play again. I loved my one time playing through it, but
yeah, that's fair. It was also $8, so I was tempted.
Yeah, although I did play through A Way Out like 2 times with different friends. And then It Takes Two, which we played together. Like that was like, oh my god! I wouldn't have called. It's not my game of the year for the year it came out, but it's like a solid 9 out of 10 for me. Like I was really surprised by how much I liked that. So even though the trailer for Splitfiction was kind of like, I don't know about this, I still have enough. He's 3 for 3 in my book, so I think Hazelight has enough goodwill for me that I'm willing to give it a shot. Sure.
Oh, I'm excited to buy it for sure. I will definitely buy it. Yeah. The main.
Well, let me know if you do buy it, so I don't have to, or we can do it the other way around.
Or we can just whoever gets it, the other can Venmo them $20 or something, or send a gift card.
We can just go halves on it.
Yeah, pretty much, because it, like I said, it is now $44.99. Well, for that $5 of extra price, I'm sure there will be really gorgeous cutscenes and thrilling gameplay segments. Yeah, the main thing that I'm worried about is just trying to do too many different styles of world at once. And I don't really know what the story is yet, other than sisters get trapped in an interdimensional thing. Because that's the heart of a joseffares game. I still remember that moment where I had to betray my friend Billy in A Way Out, and of course, as you know, and half the internet knows by now, It Takes Two was my egg cracking moment, where I realized just by how fleshed out May was as a character that I was very similar to her, and that I wasn't a boy anymore. So yeah, that will be on my radar for sure. Yeah, I'm really super stoked for all the co-op games that have demos out. I am interested in thickasthieves. It seems like it's Deceive incorporated with magic, and grappling hooks and stuff. And I always like a good steampunk aesthetic, so I'll check it out. I'm slightly nervous about how that will actually feel immersive simmy, because there's just while also balancing multiplayer, because immersive sim and multiplayer can be 2 very different things. With immersive sims, you have to have systems that work really well with each other, and that can be experimented with. Indiana Jones, I think, is the lightest of immersive sims, because you can find all sorts of bread around. You can sneak around in disguises. You can just go in guns blazing. You can go in fisticuffs. You can go in with a whip. You can throw dynamite. And the Nazis have very interesting reactions, like catching thrown bottles, or really swarming you in doorways, and really anticipating your blocks. I do think they dodge my heavy attacks too easily a little bit, but that's just me being salty. But you can see how all those systems work together, and then the next tier up would be BioShock with weapons and magic in both hands, and dealing with environmental things, and environmental combos like shocking pools of water or lighting on fire oil. Nothing like not like System Shocky, where it's really heavy on the role playing and the choices and the feeling of desolation and resource management and things like that, or Deus Ex with all the different conversation options and things like that. But like BioShock is definitely in the middle when it comes to immersive sim stuff, and that's been my benchmark because, well, the others have been too complicated. I've been tempted by the System Shock remake a few times, but I've been nervous about how it'll actually be on consoles, so... it's just like... genre is important, for sure, and, making things multiplayer has been the trend that we've noticed has been saturated and declining, so... I really hope it's not like, oh, get this season pass now so you can keep playing forever. I really hope it is a co-op game, first and foremost, instead of what it appears to be, again, Deceive incorporated with Magic, where you're fighting other people. That is pretty cool, and I could see that working in a limited-style invasion mode, but, yeah, there's real potential and problems with that. I don't know what the fuck Killing Floor is anymore, because it just is overstimulating as hell now, with all of the arrows and weird zombies and explosions and colors. It's like, I remember when in 2009 I was playing modded Christmas map on my MacBook Pro mid-2010 because that was like one of the few games released this century I could actually play on that damn thing. And Killing Floor 2 just didn't feel like Killing Floor. It was a solid co-op shooter, but there was just something je ne sais quoi missing when they tried to add all these hero abilities and stuff like that. And it seems like they're leaning even more into that. Because these games, again, take a long time, and it seems like most of the things that are multiplayer might be heading towards disaster with the trend line pushing down. Yeah, I don't know, man. Although, like, in terms of single-player games, it seems like we're eating good. Like, Dying Light the Beast, that looks really cool. Dying Light 2 was, again, kind of overstimulation city with how many mechanics you had to juggle, and just the hugeness of the game was overwhelming. I probably will never get back.
I liked the few hours we played of it in co-op, and I did play a bit more single-player after we'd stopped doing the co-op stuff. But, yeah, I don't know if I'll play the new one, but I don't have... Like, if anything, I just go back to Dying Light 2, because there's still so much I haven't done in that.
Yeah, that's true. That's the problem with making your game so big, is that, like, some people might just never get around to finishing it by the time you make a sequel. Yeah. I think that this has potential to solve my criticisms of Dying Light 2, because, it seems like there's more marshlands and countrysides, like, the following, which was really fun. I never finished that one either. I never finished Dying Light, but what I played of that, like, was very memorable and not too large. That's the main thing, is no giant games for me this year, unless it's, like, Assassin's Creed. because I have a bunch of things in my backlog that I bought already. So if something big comes out in, like, January, I'm not sure I'm gonna really have much time for it unless it's on Game Pass. That's a big problem.
I saw not Dying Light, Dragon Age: The Veilguard was on sale on Xbox for like $38 already, and I'm like, oh, I had my finger or my cursor over the buy button, and I'm like,
but there's also the trial.
I looked back and I'm like, I know there's a trial too, but it's like, it was just like, oh, this game like just came out, it's already like that cheap. I was like so close to buying it, but then I'm like, you know, I have literal hundreds of hours of other RPGs that I'm playing. I think I've reached my breaking point in terms of like, I need to finish some of these games first.
Well, I could certainly bring the game over and then we could try it together.
Well, that's the thing is, yeah, we could do that. That's totally cool. It's just, I don't know if I'll get to it this decade.
Fair. That's fair. Though, I think the big game that I really want to do with you, for sure, is Eldenring, Nightreign. I mean, it has some of the problems that I mentioned before. It's roguelike, to a certain extent, but the 30-minute runs against, like, 3 bosses is pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm totally willing to give it a shot, but again, like, I'm not into From games that much. I've always been willing to give them a shot. But Well, the shots I've taken, none of them have really landed, so...
I've gotten better as their engine.
Of the Souls games. I do like Armored Core, although I haven't played the new one.
Oh, yeah.
I do like...
I just couldn't with
I'm
Armored
in
Core
an
6.
extreme minority that I like Ninja Blade of all games.
What's that?
If I had to, it was a FromSoft game in the 360 era, kind of Ninja Gaiden-esque, but it was pretty much mocked at the time for having like an insane amount of quick time events.
Did you see the Ninja Gaiden trailer? I didn't, but I've heard it's cool.
Yes, it looks really good. It's by the Blasphemous developers, which is another Metroidvania I haven't played, but looks really good. So I've been meaning to play it forever. Yeah, it's super fluid-looking action and, you know, platforming
so
and
you
stuff.
said,
pretty much everything.
Oh, 2D. Okay. I thought it was a new 3D Ninja Gaiden
2D.
for some reason. Okay, cool. Speaking of franchises that got a Metroidvania...
First 2D Ninja Gaiden in a long time, since the 90s.
But yeah, speaking of games that got a 2D Metroidvania out of nowhere, Shadowlabyrinth.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I saw the secret level episode and was mostly confused trying to understand what the ghosts were and stuff like that, but I can see the potential if they really flesh out this kind of world building in the game itself, and not just, well, now we want to make Pacman and Metroidvania, so let's just slap together some things.
Yeah.
It doesn't look slapped together, but some of the art does feel a little limited. I mean, you can't really do the level of a secret level, literally, in terms of animation for an entire game without a gigantic budget, and this is clearly not that, but it's still kind of annoying, because I was like, ooh, this could be really cool, and like dark and gritty, and I'm sure it still will be. I don't really feel dark and gritty from Metroidvanias at all. Yeah, you know what? Like I said, I'll give it a shot. That does. I mean, okay, I've only seen 2 episodes of Secret Level, but unless the next batch of episodes is really good, I'm probably gonna bounce. They're just the 2 that I saw are just giant trailers for the games, which is fine. That's not the worst thing in the world, and I didn't think that like the Warhammer one would have super deep writing. It had very crunchy action. That's all and like a bunch of Space Marines saying "Brother!" That's all I really needed, especially since I was like, oh, this is Titus from Warhammer. Star of Space Marine 2, and then I beat Space Marine 2 that day, so it clearly worked to get me remembering that game. It's just like, I don't know. But like, there's just a lot of really cool games to keep track of, and I barely scratched the surface of the demos that are available. Again, a lot of them are like co-op and stuff. Like, what's it called? Well, I can't really look it up now, but it's like 2 Buckethead Heroes or something like that. Where I think it's like a brawler. I'd have to check again. But what I will say is that the Game Awards as an institution is very different from, like, again, people's Game of the Year. That's going to be very different for a long time, because until they just give in and make it voting, mainly, that's probably going to be how it is.
But
because
then we end up with what the Player's Choice category always ends up with, where it was several Hoyoverse games.
Yeah, right.
I think Genshin and Zenless Zone Zero were both in there. And, like, nothing against those games, but, like, that's more of a popularity contest than, like, a best game contest.
I also think that, yeah, I think that they had an explicit reason for this to try and prevent people from just flooding in at the last minute with some random game. I mean, I honestly feel like they should have like a spam bot detector or something like that to fix that sort of thing, but maybe figure out a better balance than 90-10 is what I'm saying. Because I don't really feel like my vote matters. Election fraud, just kidding. But like, I didn't even bother voting because of that. on the Games of the Year. Like, I made a whole to-do about it last year, and yeah, like, none of my things had even a chance. Like, a Plague Tale Requiem would have won Game of the Year on the list of that for me, except that it didn't. It just didn't, because I don't know why. Like, this black box sort of thing needs to end. Let's see, let me just pick up the ammo pouch, and... But, you know what, maybe it is good that they're banning voting, because, well, AI agents are gonna be able to play games soon. And maybe they'll just vote for their favorite games once they attain self-awareness. Because Google is testing these AI agents to analyze your gameplay in mobile games like Clash of Clans and offer you suggestions. And even play the game for you if you're stuck. This is scary. Like, this AI stuff has gotta stop. Because one of the things that I was like, had in the back of my mind was that an AI game snuck into the Game of the Year awards this year. The Game Awards.
I saw that, the cat game, yeah.
Catly.
That, even if the trailer itself wasn't AI, it gives us such an AI sheen that I immediately was like suspicious. I was like, is this AI or AI adjacent? Because it certainly feels that way.
Well, it could be that that it's just the trailer that's AI, but yeah, that sheen is really the problem. I think a lot of this is just that people are just paranoid of AI being everywhere because it's low quality, and you know, like, that's an easy criticism for good reason, because that is lazy. I mean, it's fine to use occasionally in lazy settings, like writing with other people. I've generated ideas occasionally in the past, but for any commercial product that you're selling, like my book, The Wind Empress Darklight, is not going to have any of that, obviously, because I have 5 years of my own writing to draw from, and historical inspirations and things. It does learn in similar ways to humans, which is scary, but it cannot have that spark of imagination to be like, oh, you know what, let's be inspired by Paper Mario, you know? Instead of just generate a Paper Mario-like game.
The AI stuff is people lean so much on, like, oh, but it can do things just as well as humans. It's like, I don't care if it can do something well. I care that something that I'm doing is made by a human. Something artistic is made by a human. You know, as valuable as that can be. Like, I don't... Like, if I find out that something artistic that I'm enjoying uses AI, I'm not going to go, oh, that's so cool. I'm going to... That immediately just, like, discredits it in my eyes.
Well, as opposed
to... You know what I
to
mean? Like, it's...
Like, on the art itself, I think, is the main problem. Because, like, I'm really excited for Inzoi, but it does have optional insert AI photos into your apartment.
Yeah, like... Yeah, it's more so like AI as, like, a crux of something. Like, plenty of games, I'm sure, have used AI assets. I know there's been, like, stuff snuck into games. I know that stuff's already out there. But it's more so like, if I'm playing a game that's being promoted to me, and I find out that, like, oh, you wrote the story using AI tools, I'm going to be like, well, why couldn't you write the story yourself?
Yeah,
I'll go
exactly.
play a game that someone's written themselves.
I mean, machine learning, again, is going to be used for a lot of the back-end stuff that we don't care about, like kinesmatics, and then be cleaned up by humans.
Yeah, that's the thing, is, like, if it's, like, on a workmanship level of, like, helping...
But that could lead to layoffs.
Development.
You know?
Yeah, that's a problem, too. But it's not like from an artistic... Like, my main thing against AI is from an artistic perspective of, like, I don't want anything to do with any piece of art presented to me that's been made by AI. That's just, like, my hardline stance on that.
Well, now AI can hallucinate an entire game level. I saw that level, I forget what it was, like, inspired by. But as opposed to a Doom game where it was like, yeah, it's pretty close. This was like, it was generating the level as it was being played. Oh.
Yeah, we do have a burning blade on the server, and I was hoping they would be going in the other direction, which they were.
Ah!
And now they're going more towards our direction.
Okay.
So,
All right.
I'm going to say
Cancel the voyage and flee for our lives.
not necessarily cancel the voyage. Maybe just wait. We can just play it a little safe. Like, let's maybe just go to somewhere where they don't appear to be heading to and wait it out for 5 minutes or so. See if they keep heading past where we're headed. Because right now we were about to stop Snake Island, which is right there. But maybe we just kind of turn back a bit to try to avoid them.
Sure. You execute that, navigator.
Once they're out of the way more, we'll just double back.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, I'm perfectly happy with that. I was nervous about that ship on the horizon, but it was just a skeleton sloop. They appear to just kind of be hanging out by Crook's Hollow at the moment. Well,
yeah,
or maybe
like,
not.
Yeah, no, they're moving.
They're moving, but
yeah.
well, I'm gonna keep an eye on the map while I talk and let you know the minute they try to turn towards us.
Yeah. What I might do, because I do want to stay in slight vicinity of Snake's Island, is we have a rock for cover right here. I might just turn us and just hang out by this rock.
Okay, yeah.
Because they can't hopefully visually see us, and we can just let them pass by, and hopefully just keep going west.
Like, okay, where were we? Alright, so, again, the layoffs is a real problem, and Larian did call them out for that. Oh, there is a shipwreck tool nearby, I think. Or no, that's just resource barrels. That's just resource barrels, we can grab them quick. Or we could, it's up to you. Especially if we're hanging around this vicinity anyway.
Yeah, I kind of want to just hang by this rock. And to be honest, when we check the resource barrels, because we're only going to be playing another 20 minutes to half an hour probably, and they want to wrap up. How many resources are we going to need?
That's fair, unless I'm just nervous about that.
I know.
Well, so.
Alright.
So, like, People Can Fly laid off 120 people. That was a bitter kill at the end of the year. I mean, they haven't really had a game since Outriders, and that was a flop.
I was gonna say, Outriders did very well initially, and then it seemed like it really lost steam after a bit.
Well,
but,
also Square Enix
enjoyed what I played with that.
Also, Square Enix didn't pay them their fucking royalties, so they've basically been running on
that
fees.
whole thing.
I'm very nervous.
So I was I just saw Outriders on sale like before those layoffs were announced. I was like, oh, I wonder what People Can Fly would be up to next. And the answer is probably not much, unfortunately.
I'm also nervous about the studio behind Scare Ritual, because I did like that. It's just that the matchmaking was dead on arrival. Like, the combat had potential. This is from a 10 worst games according to Metacritic of the year. I don't know what Die by the Blade is, so I'm gonna skip that.
You linked that to me, yeah.
Funko Fusion would have been my worst game of the year if I had actually bothered to pay $60 for Funko Fusion, because it was not worth that.
I feel like I saw enough footage of that to render judgment without playing it.
Silent Hill: The Short Message, number 7. Yeah, I never played that, but that checks out. Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. I know you were disappointed about that.
I was so disappointed about that. You know what I did? I bought the original 2 Test Drive Unlimited on 360. And one of them just came in the mail.
Before the store shut down, or on discs?
Oh, on discs, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been buying. I haven't really mentioned to you, but I've been buying a lot of 360 games.
Oh yeah, I would totally play through a bunch of them.
A massive stack of them right in front of me. Actually, original Xbox and PS2 as well.
Oh.
Let me just go one by one. Test Drive Unlimited, Test Drive Unlimited 2, Naruto: The Broken Bond, Sega Rally Revo, SRS Street Racing Syndicate, Dead or Alive 5,
Ooh, that could be fun.
Ghost Recon Island Thunder, that I played as a kid a little bit at a friend's house, Super Monkey Ball Deluxe. This is all stuff I've bought in the past like 2 months because my retro game store does like buy 3 get 1 sales.
Oh right, yeah, you did tell me about that. Any of these will be better.
The guy, and he texts me when he gets stuff in. So.
Oh, that's really nice because he knows you're a consistent customer.
Yeah, he was like, hey, is there any game you want to be like texted about when we get them in? And so I just gave him a big old list.
Oh, you got the hook up there. Nice. I love it.
I'm a third of the way done through the stack I have.
By the way,
Project Gotham Racing 1. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. The Burning Blade is moving away from us. They're up by Castaway Isle. So if we stick to the southern side, we'll probably be okay. And I can stick by the ship.
Yeah. Okay.
So I can focus on talking anyway, and listening and stuff. But yeah.
I'm just gonna finish rattling off.
Sure. Yeah.
Certain
do
number
that.
of games I've bought. These involve most of these games, by the way, are like fairly cheap. There's a couple ones I splurged on because I really wanted them. So I got Forza Motorsport 3.
Nice.
The Simpsons game, which was actually pretty expensive. I got a pretty good deal on it though, for like $30. It usually goes for about 40.
Whew. Okay, yeah, that is kind of pricey for a game that old. When I can emulate it on my PC. But anyway, continue.
What is the name of this game? There's a giant. So this one's actually from the Microsoft Company Store. There's a whole not to be sold sticker on it.
Oh yeah,
Microsoft Company Store in Seattle.
I ended up selling a copy of Halo in box for the PC that my dad got from the Microsoft Company Store and never opened.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's still gonna get in trouble.
Game, which I could barely read, is Rally Sport Challenge. It's an older DICE game before they were the Battlefield Factory.
Oh, okay.
The original Xbox version of Marvel Ultimate Alliance, because that's the one that I played as a kid. Prince of Persia Warrior Thin.
Oh.
Let's see. Forza 4. Almost done. I'm actually trying to remind myself of some of these games.
Yep.
Let me see. What was this one? Sonic Heroes. That one is actually kind of expensive.
Oof. Probably for the PS2, right?
LA.
I think that only came out.
No. Xbox. It came out on all three. Xbox, GameCube. Xbox version.
I thought it was PS2 and GameCube for some reason.
Performance-wise. Nope.
Okay. Cool.
Yu-Gi-Oh! The Dawn of Destiny, which was an Xbox exclusive Yu-Gi-Oh! Game from back in the day.
Whew. Wow.
Simpsons Hit and
Back
Run,
when
which was
Xbox
also kind
actually
of
cared about exclusives. Sorry, you were saying?
Yeah, Simpsons Hit and Run, which is...
Oh, that's the one that I was thinking of.
Right
I'm an idiot.
Yeah, I got it right before it went up in price because there was a Summoning Salt speedrunning guy video on it.
Oh,
and I
okay.
bought it right before that came out. And so I bought it for $20. Now it's going for like $35.
Well, tiny
so I
profit.
bought it exactly the right time. Yeah.
For
and
people.
Need the run and for speed shift.
Oh, well. Send me a link to that. That'd be cool to see later.
Yeah. I got the first two Amped games, which were old Xbox snowboarding games.
Oh yeah, I've heard of those.
Not good. Amp 2 is excellent though.
So why'd you buy the first one if it's not good?
I didn't know that one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'd only ever played Amp 3, which is on 360.
Oh, okay.
Forza Horizon 2 for 360 because it was like $3.
So awesome! Oh man, that enjoy. That game
Naruto
is special.
Oh no, I mean I played the Xbox One version.
Well, I know, but like
360 version because
but the
cheap.
360 version is special because they managed to really make it work on a game with 16 times less graphics pool. And a lot of that...
I did play about an hour of it, and I was like, oh my god, this is really good for what it is.
A lot of it is probably a little bit more on rails, like actually like guardrails and stuff, I'm guessing.
Not really.
Huh.
No, it seemed about the same, like...
In terms of openness?
Design-wise.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow, they just really were great at optimizing then.
Don't expect much from the frame rate, the textures, the level of detail.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's where
when it's read off a disc like that, off a DVD.
Yeah. And the last two are Sonic Riders, which I already have on GameCube, but it's so much more convenient to just put it in my 360. It was also kind of expensive. It was like $20. Huh. And Project Gotham Racing. So that's all the stuff I bought in the past couple months. Actually, I have some PS2 stuff I bought that's in a separate pile. All right, let's. Burning Blade's far away from us now, right?
I'm just gonna double check, because...
Okay.
Yeah, they are by Wanderer's Refuge.
So, a couple of those games I listed are not actually playable on a 360, but I bought an original Xbox on eBay that's coming in tomorrow.
Okay, so we could do System Link then for some of these things.
Theoretically, yeah.
Because like man, if we got a couple friends for Crimson Skies, then people would actually play Crimson Skies with me.
So I'm getting an original Xbox, but the controller that I'm getting with it, the person who's selling it, was pretty upfront about like, hey, the controller I'm shipping with this is not in the best condition. So when I went to the retro game store last week, as I'm waiting for this Xbox to come in, they had a really, really great condition original Xbox controller S for $20, and it's blue too. It's a nice color, better than just boring old black.
Oh, that's cool.
So
yeah, I can't wait to check it out.
I am super excited for that to show up.
With all of these retro games,
I have not touched an original Xbox in a solid 15 years, maybe, at least.
Yeah, I'm thinking that when I'm over for like maybe like, I don't really know how long I'll have, but I think that for part of it, I definitely want to stream some video of some form of these retro games, because I think that I can get a good capture card going on my iPad. Either that or just have a because I just got a capture card in order to try and limit the blockiness issue that I had. Though I've also increased I've increased the canvas resolution, but lowered the base resolution that it downscales to try to see how that goes. Unfortunately, Streamlabs is capped at 6 megabits per second for actually like streaming via Twitch, so that's probably part of it. But I think that if I can get a capture card from my Xbox into my Mac, I should be able to record that, and that would have basically no latency and have much better picture quality. So stay tuned for that, folks. But I think that I want to close out this first season of SunnyRedemption Sailing, which has been one of my favorite things that I've ever done creatively, online or otherwise, with a retro special. So SunnyRedemption Sailing Super Retro Special will be our closeout for 2024 while we just chill.
Yeah, since we're going to be wrapping up soonish, do you want to just talk about what day we might be able to do that?
Sure.
Or do you want to save it till after we're done?
Well, okay, I think maybe save it until after we're done, since you offered that option, okay. Because we do have to keep our wits about us for a little bit longer until we get to a port. Because the Burning Blade is now turning to the Lagoon of Whispers, and while they're still far away enough that they probably won't be a problem if we just hoof it to Plunder Outpost, we probably should do that sooner rather than later.
Yeah,
so,
I was going to say, like, this will probably be the last island I want to do, because I do want to wrap it up soonish.
Oh, yeah, sure. We also have a player ship, so we should run.
Yeah, let's go then.
Well,
let's just call it quits on this one.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I see. Alright, are you... Okay, let's just go. We might take some damage getting out of here, so be ready to return.
I've also dropped a bear trap on one of the ladders.
Okay.
I'll repair.
Okay.
I still don't know why my audio's being fucking weird, but anyway.
I'm gonna slow up the sails a little bit and just watch this ship, because they're another sloop. Let's see if they start turning towards us.
I accidentally stepped on it! Oh my god! I can't believe myself! I stepped on my own bear trap! Well, you live and learn with this game. But fortunately, I do have a skeleton, a bone collar, throwable in case of emergencies.
Okay.
Still, if I had not stepped on it myself, that would have been an excellent trap.
Oh man, it would have been great if you caught someone from that ship in that trap, because their name is the Salty Bear.
So we could have made them really salty. Well, let's just hope we don't have to fight them to begin with. I'm fine with lowering the sailing.
I'm watching them. They're not really... Well, I'm kind of just holding up a bit because they don't appear to be heading in our direction.
Okay, but we should still get to the outpost soon anyway, so...
Yeah. Alright, yeah, if you want to...
Well, I mean, we're going the wrong way
so
for that,
close
but
to
I'm gonna turn us around real quick. Actually, you know what? I'll turn around this rock.
Keep an eye on the ship. I can just keep an eye on the ship.
Yeah, sure.
The
You
player
stay in
ship
the...
from here.
You stay in the crow's nest
Crow's
there.
nest.
Meanwhile, I'm gonna finish the list of the worst games, according to, because I think, okay, so to recap, Scare Ritual, Die by the Blade, Funko Fusion, Silent Hill: The Short Message, Test Drive Unlimited, Solar Crown, TMNT Arcade, Wrath of the Mutants is next. Oops, crap! Oh.
What's going on? Oh, I just fell off the ship.
What? I didn't know you could do that! Uh-oh! Oh no!
Well, when the ship is turned sideways, absolutely.
Oh, well, okay. I'll quickly repair and just kinda...
Okay, I'll just sail behind you in mermaid. They're not sail, swim.
Swim! You're just gonna grow a sail out of your back. Oops! I was not paying attention, for sure. That was my bad.
Boating license.
No, Mrs.
Right,
Ruff! Don't do it!
Alright, let's see where we're going.
I just got my boatmobile!
Let's go down to plunder, I guess.
Yeah, well... Okay, so they are chasing us now. Well, no, wait, this is a different ship. It's called the Tobies, and it's pledged to a different group. So I'm gonna fire a warning shot if they get too close, but I don't think we should have a problem.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
we have the rock, at least. God damn, I really would have liked to keep the bear trap. Holy shit. What a way to end off our regular season of, like, you know, regularly playing this game, for a live stream.
Let's see if the ship follows us.
I will still call the next thing SunnyRedemption Sailing number 24 because I hate ending on odd numbers, but, if we had got into 24, I would have been like, you know, it's even better than 24? 25. Exactly. So...
Okay, this ship
next year I'll get to 25.
Was following us. Now they're turning towards us again.
They might be having problems with the rock. Because it seems like the
weird turn at that
oh no,
rock.
wait, no! I just thought that I just was fooled by the illusion here. We do have a rowboat at least.
You want to start? Yeah, I was gonna say, why don't you load up the rowboat for now? And we'll maybe try to do something with that.
I'm gonna do that while I have my headset off because you're coming through very badly. I think it's the headset's fault. Hang on.
Okay.
Well, we want to be careful here. Oh, wait! I have to repair the holes that I left behind. Oh my god. I am so sorry.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
I put up the Alliance flag just in case, because they haven't actually fired on us yet. You never know.
Okay, you know what? That's a good point. Yeah, I can't automatically... You can't automatically assume hostile intent / decide, fuck it! Like I did that one time, but it was awesome to do that one time, so I'm gonna give... Well, you know what? Our Alliance flag has always been up, apparently. It just kind of stayed up. Truce! Okay, well, now it's not a glitchy mess, at least, so I can at least hear if they fire on us correctly. Okay, yeah, they're still on our tails, but nothing we can't handle, and I'm gonna just quickly I scooped out the remaining water in one bucketful, and we'll keep it around just in case it gets on fire. And again, if they want to tangle, I have the bone collar throwable, so I'm gonna
turn us towards the outpost so we can maybe just try dumping the robo.
Yeah, well, I haven't filled it up entirely yet because I was worried they would see and then like get into our ruse.
See anyways. Yeah, I mean it's impossible to, like any seasoned player's gonna see. I know what we're doing. It's just a matter of getting away with it.
Yeah, well, I think what you do is... I'm gonna fill up the rowboat. Right. Hang on.
Get on the you might need to get on cannons here.
Okay. Yeah, it seems like they fired a shot at least. I don't quite have the angle yet, unfortunately.
I had to turn us away from them to try to avoid those.
Oh yeah, definitely. Somebody got fired off the ship, so be careful. They might try to.
I heard that.
I think we go to the next.
I hear something.
Grappling hook.
Okay. Good.
Somebody's somewhere else on the ship.
I hear it.
Again, if they wanna go, that's fine. They might be sneaking around somewhere because now they have the stealth bucket. So I'm just gonna be very diligent here and do a thorough check of the ship for anyone hiding. Doesn't seem that way. Did you see anyone, Elaine?
No. Oh, you're talking to Elaine. Okay. I was like, who's Elaine? Oh, okay.
That's the Elaine figurine.
Yeah.
I was starting to wonder if I was losing my mind. No, just kidding. Because you responded in her voice. No, kidding. Okay,
right.
well.
So we're running out of runway here without turning.
Okay, well.
We'll go towards southeast and then.
Okay, yeah, we should probably. I mean, the one time we really wanted to end on time, and the game just says no. That's probably why I like Call of Duty slightly better for when we're just playing. Uh-oh.
I hear chain shot. Alright, hit this. I'm gonna keep trying to pip it around.
Okay.
Really trying to get our ass down there.
Okay, somebody did set us on fire.
Let's get it back up.
Pull
it back up. Trying to pull it.
Well, I gotta put out the fire first. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Okay,
right,
well.
Pull her back up.
I'm pulled.
Alright.
Crap. Okay. Come on, cannons.
Repair.
Oh my god, are you serious? Right now. What's this crap? Okay, our ship. Alright, well. They will certainly try. Oh, crap. Okay. Damaging. Okay. I'm gonna repair down below. Uh-oh, crap.
Probably.
I'm just infinitevailing until they try to board and then using the skeleton on them. But in the meantime, repairing the hull as well. Until you get back, at least.
I'll be back as soon as I can. If you die, you'll wrapped up on time.
Well, I'm alive, and it doesn't seem like they boarded or anything.
Right. I'm back on. They're in.
Oh crap! They're everywhere! Fuck!
That's it for sure. Yep. Okay. And that's ball game.
Damn. I really didn't want to take an L for our last episode of playing this game, but that's just how this game is sometimes.
Yeah. We've had pretty good luck the past few sessions.
So, I suppose that's just how the ups and downs go.
I think part of why I've been doing so good at these player encounters lately is just like, you know, I worked a full 12-hour shift today. I'm not quite all there strategy-wise.
Yeah, I should have just thrown down the thing, but I think that I'm too used to the way things are supposed to work in the old game. We're really gonna have to stay more on our toes for season 2, because of the stealth changes. Yeah, it respawned us. Well, that's okay. We can take this time to figure out our final episode for this year, and also win in general. Yeah. Last time, it's probably gonna be like the after Christmas time frame, though I still have to figure out like specific dates with my mom, but
okay.
Well, what day would work best for you for, say, going to Sonic the Hedgehog, versus in a place that's in between us. Because I'm really psyched for that movie, but I don't think I'm going to be able to convince my family to watch the other two. However, I have the second one, and I'm finally going to get around to watching it. So, versus actually going up to Windsor.
Let's see. So which days are possibilities? Because I'm working a lot in between Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah, I can see that might be an issue. Yeah.
So if you give me a date, I can tell you if it works.
Yeah, I think that's just gonna have to be how it is. Because I didn't really think about this that far out.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that my sister and her fiance will be leaving on the 26th, so I'll be more free then. And unfortunately, that might prove to be a bit of a problem. But I could see like maybe after your work is done, we find that could be like the movie, just to hang and do that, and then I come up.
So wait, this is just the first I'm hearing of seeing Sonic. So I want to because I was going to go see it on like the 21st with some friends.
I could do that,
but I wouldn't mind seeing it again.
Yeah, I mean, I could do that for sure. I'll have to see.
Are you going to be around on that day?
Well, again, I'll have to see if I'm around. But if that does work out, then that does seem like a good way to do that sort of thing. Again, a lot of the family plans haven't really been figured out yet, but I think that before Christmas for Sonic the Hedgehog for you, if that is happening, and then after Christmas, but before New Year's, potentially. Because I'm around until the 4th.
The area. Are you going to be up in the Windsor area before Christmas?
Well, I thought maybe we would meet in a medium location between us, but that might not work. I don't know.
There's no... Yeah, my friends already have tickets to see it in
on the 21st.
Close by. That's the thing. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, again, I think we'll just have to play by ear on this one. That's okay, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, if I didn't know you wanted to do that, otherwise I might have held off.
Oh no, it's okay. If all we end up doing is I watch it at some point later, and the only time that I come up to Windsor, we just do our SRS on all the insane amount of retro games that you have. And talking about games in general and stuff like that, that would be perfectly fine by me. I just figured, I might as well ask.
Yeah, I'd love to do that too. It's just like, I don't know when we would squeeze that in, because like...
That's fair. That is very fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, we'll have a lot of discussions between now and then.
Yeah.
But...
So I do have my work schedule pulled up, so I can tell you the dates I might be free.
Okay.
Would be the 26th and New Year's Day.
Ooh.
Sorry, New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve, I think, would be better because my parents will probably be going to a party. And I would normally just be... I mean, we might, and I don't know, logistically wise, if I'm just at home, I might just do the stream at home, or attempt to.
Yeah. Or the 3rd of January, actually, since you said you're there till the 4th, right?
Yeah, the 3rd could be really good for, like, coming up and stuff. Okay. We'll see. Yeah, again, we'll see.
So,
lots of
like,
things.
Maybe either New Year's or the 3rd, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, again, that's if there's not an outside thing for... but it's probably not, because I'll be arriving on the 20th, actually, in upstate, New York. Well, in New York area. But, yeah, well, pretty epic year, honestly, for gaming, even with all of the ridiculousness. And while I'm sure there will be some je ne sais quoi with a lot of the retro games that we'll enjoy, I also am very happy that there are a lot of modern games updating these kinds of concepts.
And we didn't even talk about the stuff that I'm really interested in from the Game Awards, which is Virtua Fighter, the new other Ryuga Gotoku game and
Which
Okami.
is?
Like, those were
The Ryuga Gotoku?
Project Century. It's a game that takes place in 1915 Japan,
Oh,
which
okay.
people are speculating might be because there is a lot of Yakuza-esque stuff in the trailer. Like, you know, people with Yakuza tattoos and early Yakuza-looking stuff. People are theorizing this might be like about the rise of the Tojo clan in the Yakuza universe.
Didn't they like have a 19th century one kind of?
Yeah, but that was more based on major restoration stuff.
It's just that going back to the
1868.
past. It's just that going back to the past is not anything new for them.
Yeah, but this time it seems like either they're doing a whole new thing, non-Yakuza related, but still having Yakuza in it, or people are, like I said, people are thinking, because those games where they went back to the past are entirely like non-canonical. They're just kind of using the models from the games and telling their own thing based on historical events.
Well, if I do manage to stream before this whole retro special thing, then I definitely want to delve into that more. But my thinking is that this could be really cool. So that's about the size of it. The main thing is that I just need to actually finish Infinite Wealth before I consider anything else, including Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii and all the stuff like that. Yeah, well,
I do have another friend.
Oh, you do?
So before we get to that, while you're mentioning that, I do have another friend who's trying to get to the Yakuza series before that comes out, and he's somehow already on Yakuza 4, which is impressive to me because it's been like 3 months.
And I thought you were fast.
But the thing is, the thing that I told him is like Yakuza 5, 7, and 8 are all incredibly long, so I don't think he's gonna make it. But still an admirable effort. He might make it up to like 6 by then at the pace he's going.
Which, like, that's fine. You know, because then you can hold off until the future game is cheaper and get caught up at your own pace.
So I told him not to rush through it because he kind of rushed through Yakuza Kiwami 2, and he missed a lot of stuff. I'm like, hey, you know, if you're enjoying the game, just enjoy it at your own pace. Don't rush through it. It'll all blur together if you do that.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I just thought of that because you mentioned.
Yeah, a lot of the giant games that I played this year have blurred together due to AI slop. But, well, anyway, the main thing that I'm thinking for this, again, if I manage to squeeze in something before this retro special, before I leave for the 20th, which is probably unlikely, or just am streaming from home, but like just the trends that were this year, because the main thing that I didn't get to talk about was like the forces that make people so toxic about fandoms in games nowadays and make everything a battle. Because, well, I haven't been perfect about that in the past when I was younger and more immature. So it'll be interesting to tackle that in a sort of like gaming year in review, I suppose, as opposed to just mainly focusing on the Game Awards stuff. Anyway, you have a good one, my friend, and we shall talk later.
Yeah, so I probably won't be on again before you leave because I have work, and then like I said, I have to smuggle those drugs up to Canada.
So we're going to Windsor, Canada for that.
Yes.
I'll just be your transgender refugee in Canada, and then I can be your mule or something.
Yeah. So yeah, I have to run that errand for my mom's friend. And then...
Which is moving, not drugs. Federal government, if you're listening.
Yes. Yes, it's moving lots of drugs.
Elon Musk.
No, but we're hoping to make that like a 1.5 day trip.
Okay.
So after that, I should be free from like the 20th onward.
Okay,
and then
we'll see.
We'll see from there.
Yeah, okay. Well,
all right.
Talk to you later.
I'll let you know. Yep. See ya.
All right, then. Bye. And you all have a good one. If you enjoyed this stream,